MechaPaint is a complete 3D painting studio with custom brushes, layers, and a ton of wild features designed by 3D artists to help you apply your artistic vision to any 3D model. It's designed to be fun to use and effortless to master. And today, we're going to use it to remodel my friend's bathroom. We're going to fix this bathroom up. So we had some people come over and rip the walls and the floor out and put new flooring in that's watertight. That's that red stuff you can see there. And as you can see, this is the same model as the scan. I just took it straight off the app and sent it to my PC. And now we're ready. Let's remodel a bathroom. So the first thing you can see is you can drag and drop files into MechaPaint, where you can use the little file thing up here like I did. And once you've got it in there, then you can see it like this. If you click and drag your mouse around, it's going to rotate the object around. If you right click and drag, it's going to pan the object around. And if you scroll in and out, it's going to scroll in and out. It'll zoom in and out, right? Scroll up and down, zoom in and out. But if you have the mouse over the object and you scroll, it's going to change the size of the brush. And if you have the mouse over the object, when you click on it, it's going to, if you right click on it, it will select that color, like a color picker, whatever's underneath it. And then if you click and drag with your left mouse button, it will then paint, basically. So there we go. Now I have painted part of the wall. Beautiful. See that? That's all it takes. Come over here. I want to paint part of this. Right click and then paint, 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 paint. And I'm good. And that's all there is to it. That's the basic navigation. Over here you have your brush size. That's the same as scrolling up and down. And over here you have opacity. This has how much of your brush is going to be applied. So if you don't have it real solid, you can kind of go over stuff and make several passes. Up here we have a color picker, and you can play with this. You've also got a gradient thing here. And we'll get into that in a different video, but I just wanted to show you the basic navigation stuff. Another thing is, if you zoom in real close, one of the things you'll notice is that now, oh no, the model is everywhere. How are you going to get back out? Because you can't zoom in and out here. Well, you can over on the side. So if you click and if you zoom in and out over here on the side, on the right side, it's basically the right side of halfway up this little object here. Let's see. That's basically all there is to navigation. It's really easy to find your way around. And so I recommend, if nothing else, go up here to the model and you just click one of these, like box or sphere or square and dodecahedron. And when you do that, it will just create a model for you that you can play around with. All right, but in this case, I had this room here. Now, we're going to fancy this room up a little bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to have it just face the camera here. If you notice, we're in perspective view, and what that means is the walls over here are, kind of a perspective thing going on, right? And I want to be able to look at this kind of head on, and they call that orthographic view. I think it's called orthographic, and that's this little button right here. So you click that, and that's going to basically turn it into a little thing like this. If you ever played an isometric game, that's what they're going for right there. So what I'm going to do is keep it in that view. And then also, if you click on on one of the faces here, like if we click on top, it'll go to the top. And if I click and drag and then I go to the front, it'll go to the front. Now, if you haven't noticed, I'm able to see through the walls. And if you're not in the 3D industry, this may seem like magic. It's based on a thing called normals. And the normals dictate which direction a surface can be seen from. So since you can see these walls very easily from across from you, kind of stand to reason that you would not be able to see them from the other side, which is a common thing in the graphics industry. I know, it's a little weird. You'll figure it out. Okay, so we want to go to the front here, though, and I want to replace that door. That's an ugly door. I'm going to go to the old Google's, or in this case, so if I'm on PC, I'm going to go to the old Bing. Oh yeah, I already got some pictures. We're going to copy one of these. We use one of these. I'm in Conjure right now. More on Conjure another time. That's a different product. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to paste this in. Now, what I want to do is I like this door over here, And I do not like this door over here. What can I do? Well, I mean, the obvious thing would be, it would be really cool if I could just take that door and stick it over there on that wall. So that's what you do. You move it over here, and then you click up here in the little corner and go to overlay. And now that it's in overlay mode, you're going to try to line that up pretty much with that wall. You know what? It'd probably be easier if I did this first. If I did I'm just going to scale it here so that it's lined up ahead of time. And then I should be able to position it roughly on that door. And now I've got my brush selected up here. I go over here and click on this and make sure the brush size is nice. I can just click and drag, and I'm going to paint that door right onto the wall. And I might as well do the whole thing just to see what it looks like. Look at that. Okay, well, not exactly what I expected, because I have other parts of the room that this is attached to now. As you can see here, it's obviously stuck to part of the toilet, and the cardboard boxes next to it, and the basin thing that's sitting next to that, and over here on this part, oh, this is a mess, right? So we don't want to do that, but I don't want to not do that. I kind of want to do that. So what I want to do is just be able to paint on that wall. Well, if I zoom out and I go to top view, well, let's undo this first. Let's just look at this. Okay, so there's the original. I'm going to go back to top view, and I'm going to grab this little tool up here called Ghost. And there it is. And I'm going to click on lasso, and I'm going to lasso everything. Just going to click over here on the side. Oops. Oh, I got to turn off the overview first, sorry. Okay, click over here on the side, and then drag out a big lasso. Like that. And now I'm going to click on the eyeball. That hides it. That's ghosting. Ghosting is specifically just knocking out a part of the mesh so that you don't have to look at it, and it's not going to interact with you while you are working on the rest of it. Okay, so you could also click on it and drag, and it would eat away at it if you use the brush, the ghost brush there, but we didn't want that. Also, ghosting is undoable, so we're just going to click the undo there. And that's pretty good, so I'm going to line that up. Now my reference picture that I pasted in earlier is sitting over here on the side. If I click it again, it's going to reappear. And it should reappear at the same size it was before. Yeah, it sure did. Okay, so we want to put that over there again. And we're going to go to overlay and put it right where we want it. And then we're going to make sure our brush is good. And then, oh, we're still in ghost mode. I keep forgetting that. Okay, click out of that. And now we should be able to paint that in. I'm going to go ahead and paint this over here with the lamp. We don't really need to do that, but I'm going to clean that up in a minute. But it gives me something to look at there on the wall. Okay, so that got us a better door, that's for sure, and a wall color. Okay, so now we're going to hide this, and we're going to go up to our ghost, and we're going to click on the X to undo all the ghosting. And now you can see that it has allowed us to paint there, but it didn't paint anywhere else, because that other stuff just wasn't visible at the time. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's get this other door over here taken care of. Same thing. We're just going to ghost it again, except this time we want this door here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's see, go top and go to ghost and lasso. I'm going to grab all of this. That should do it. And I'm going to grab all of this too. There we go. Hide all of that. And now we just have that door. Kind of wonky looking. We're going to click on right, and we're going to bring our room back up here, our thing here. Let's see what overlay looks like. So this is still the same size as it was before, and since I don't think we zoomed in our model, it should be roughly the same size there too. So we should be able to just put this door over the other one and call it a day. Let's try that. Very nice. Okay, so let's see what happens if we, oops, you know, I can see that top barrier there, the border there. Let's do something about that. Let's, we're going to click on right, and then we're going to click here in the bottom so it only rotates on one axis. And we're going to just go like that. I'm going to see if I can line that up perfectly with the top of this one. Or near perfect. There we go. But then our door isn't in the frame. Oh, it was up here. That's what it was. I see. Well, let's find out. Oh, I just realized I'm at an angle, aren't I? That's funny. So we're going to move just a little bit there at the bottom. I want to get just enough of this top part that I can see it from the other side. Okay. And now we go straight to the right side and we basically finish this off here. Wait a minute. Wait. Ah, man, the door is actually backward. Okay, well, let's put this back here. Okay, so the door being backward, we're going to have to flip this. Go up here, flip H, and now it is flipped. And we put it back in place. Now we can... should be able to just paint right onto that. And we can. Okay, so now we've got our door in place there. Let's see how this looks with the rest. There. We have our two doors. The shadows are a little weird because we just flipped one image and stuck it on the other one. But that's how you would do that part of it. And if we wanted to, I should probably spend a little bit of time lining up the very top of those doors to make sure they match a little better. That's not fantastic. Yeah, I should probably do that. Okay, but I just wanted to give you an idea of, yeah, that's how that feature works. So let's move on to something else. I'm going to show you now. We've got this big wall back here. I'm not sure how I want that wall to really work, but I would like to paint it something. So instead of using a texture or an image like we've been doing, I could paint it. I could right click over here and then set my opacity and then let's ghost out part of this wall so it's easier to get to. Oops. Sometimes when I look at this, my eyes cross and I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I click on the perspective thing every now and then. That's why it's helping me understand what it is I'm looking at again. Okay, we're going to try this again. So we're going to go to top, and and then ortho, and I want to cut out a bunch of this. I want to cut out basically that. Is that right? That's pretty good. Okay, so we'll hide that. And then I'm going to go back in here, and we want to paint this wall now. Wait, did I cut off part of the wall? Not really. Maybe a little. Yeah. Okay, so since we can invert the ghost back and forth, I'm just going to kind of invert. I'm just going to kind of click and drag up here and chew away at that. And that's going to stick a lot of that back into the right place. But I'm missing some pieces again, so I'm just going to use the lasso. There we go. Okay, so now if we invert it, so we have much more of the wall there. That's good. So we're going to paint that. Oh, but we also don't need the top here. We can get rid of that. So back into ghost, lasso. There we go. And yeah, that looks good. So we're going to hide that and go to the paintbrush. Okay, we're going to grab our reference image, and I kind of like these blues, but what I like more than the blues is, well, I just like the blues. I guess that's what I'm saying. So we're gonna, I think we will use this for part of it. We're gonna use part of the dark here. I'm just gonna paste a little bit of that. There we go. That's nice. But the thing is, I don't really have an idea for what I want here. So I'm going to use a gradient. So we're going to go up here and we're going to turn on linear gradient. And I'm going to click on this first one. And I'm going to select that color. And then I'm going to click on end, the last one. I'm going to I'm going to select kind of a darker color there. So it's a very slight variation, and hopefully it's enough to see. All right, I'm going to close the window, and now I'll use this tool here, which is our fill region tool. And it's going to basically allow me to create a region and then fill it and with any color I want. That is really hard on my eyes. I don't know why. I look at that and it just doesn't make any sense. There we go. Okay, so this is the wall I want to work with. I'm going to make my cursor real small so it gets out of the way. And I want to go from corner to corner, so I'm just going to click in one corner and I'm going to drag out a line. Oh, I could do it this way. This is freehand. Oh, that's just a brush. That's not even that. We're going to undo that. And go back to our fill tool. Okay. So this is the fill region tool, and I want to use a rectangle. Click in the upper corner, drag down to the lower corner. And now I got these neat little lines here. I'm going to point one up and point one down. These are the fills, the alpha layer fills. And I should be able to hit click fill and have it fill it. All right, but I want one of them to be a little darker than the other one, and I don't feel like this is. Try that again. Yeah, so that is actually filling it. I didn't realize that. I'm going to go back out and make that a little less dark. It's a little too much. Not bad. All right, we're going to do another rectangle. Click and drag, release, and make sure these lines are going the right. Oops, make sure these gradient lines go in the direction I like, and fill. Don't like that one. Yeah, that's better. It kind of looks like it's only 2 colors, though. I'm gonna pick something a little bigger. Move this out of the way for a second. Let's do start up here and finish down here. And you can see the dots here on the screen that represent the colors that I've chosen for my gradient. And this is what I want here. Ta-da! Now, if you notice, there's a little bit of stair-stepping there in the colors, and that's because the color palette for these, it's entirely possible that the UV map distance isn't great enough to have a lot of variation in it. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a few minutes. It's kind of funny. Okay, so that got us that. Let's do the other wall here. I noticed there's a little bit of wall covering from that time. That's okay, and you can affect that by changing the max angle here in the painting tools, and also the brush angle. You set it to basically you set this to on, and then you can set your max angle, and you can do some pretty neat stuff with it. We're not going to concern ourselves with that right now. We're just going to do the other side. There we go. Fill. And done. And, you know, again, if I spent more time on this, I'd probably line those up a little better, that kind of thing. Now we're going to go to Ghost and see what this all looks like. All right, so it's weird looking, but it's a start. And that's what you would do over and over for each wall and put all the stuff on it that you wanted to. You could use you could use just a straight texture for this wall. And to do that, one easy way to do that is you go over to Capture Ref. This is going to capture a reference image. And then you can move that to an area that you like say this wall, and click Save. And it will generate over here on the side a reference image based on what is underneath the screen at the time. And then you click. So you click Test. It's going to show you that what it looks like. And then if you like it, then you press Save, and that's going to create the actual thing. So now we have this texture based on that, and I can scale it down or make it larger or use it for this. One cool thing about the texture references is that if you have a texture reference on, and you go up here to Tile, now if you make your brush larger, you can actually paint outside the lines, and it's going to use that as a tile. Oh, still have our gradient turned that to color. There we go. Right, so we're going to go up here to Overlay and Tile. Okay, now we should be able to select our brush size and start painting. Sorry, I turned off tile. That's why it was not painting. So now that it is, it should paint this thing that I created here as a tile. And over on the settings, since I have the thing set, the max angle and the and the skip steep faces, that should prevent that from bleeding too much around the corners, and it did. Good. Okay, so we're going to clear that out. And just right click there. I'm going to do a little touch up here on the wall. Perfect. All right. And that's how MechaPaint works. You can get a free demo on the website and try it out and let me know what you think. Now down here in the corner there's a little exclamation mark. If you click it, it will take a screenshot of the interface and everything in it. And over on the side you can leave notes for me. You can say something like, "This is the best thing ever, but..." Let's try that. "Best thing ever, but..." Okay. And when you're done, you click Send Anonymously, and it is going to send that to me, and I will get that message. And then I won't necessarily respond unless you put an email address in there and you say, "Definitely respond to me." But if you're just making a suggestion or you want to give me some feedback, it's completely anonymous, and it sends me a picture of what you were doing when it happened, only in the app. And I would really love to hear feedback from people and find out what you think.